Please rise while the colors are posted. Former Congressman Michael McNulty will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for our opening prayer. P.J. Higgett will lead us in prayer.
Almighty God, you are the source of our life, strength, and purpose. In your presence alone we find health, hope, and life. Guide us during this hour of fellowship and reflection. Be grounded with a healing reminder of your love to all whose lives we touch this day. For it is in your glory we gather and offer our prayers. Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Good morning. I'm Peter K. Goebel, the Director of the Rensselaer County Veterans Service Agency. We have gathered here this morning to honor a deceased Rensselaer County veteran for the month of January, and that veteran is Thomas P. DeGiorgio. We are honored to have with us this morning his daughter, Diane DeGiorgio. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Also with us today to honor our Veteran of the Month, our Rensselaer County Executive Steve McLaughlin, representing Congressman Paul Tonko, Colleen Williams, representing Congressman Antonio Delgado, Max Prime, former Congressman Michael McNulty, representing New York State Senator Daphne Jordan, Haley Northrup, New York State Assemblyman Jake Ashby, Rensselaer County Legislative Chairwoman Kelly Hoffman, Rensselaer County Legislative Vice Chair Robert Loveridge, Rensselaer County Court Judge Deb Young, Rensselaer County District Attorney Mary Pat Donnelly, Rensselaer County Undersheriff P.J. Higgett, representing Colonel Earl B. Schoenberg Jr., the commander of Waterfleet Arsenal, is Mr. Matt Day. Also, we have County Legislators Dan Casal, Tom Grant, and Carol Weaver. As we are well aware, Memorial Day and Veterans Day are special days to remember all of our veterans. This program was created to help honor all our veterans all year round. To us here in Rensselaer County, every day is Veterans Day. The Rensselaer County Honor Deceased Veteran Program represents veterans organizations throughout the entire county. This includes members of the American Legion, Disabled American Veterans, Veterans of Lansingburg, Military Order of the Purple Heart, Marine Corps League, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Korean War Veterans, Tri-County Council of Vietnam-era Veterans, Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, Vietnam Veterans of America, AMVETS, and the Rensselaer County Veterans Service Agency. I will now ask Kelly Hoffman, Rensselaer County Legislative Chairwoman, and the assembled county legislators to come forward to tell us about our honored veteran for the month of January, Thomas P. DeGiorgio.
Thank you, Peter, and good morning, everyone. My name is Kelly Hoffman. I'm the chairwoman of the Rensselaer County Legislature, and I'd like to welcome everybody to our first Honor of Veterans ceremony for 2022. The legislature is thrilled to continue the tradition of welcoming families of our veterans to these chambers and telling the stories of those veterans that answered the call to serve our country during some very challenging times. This is my first ceremony as chairwoman. I've been to them several times, but this is the first time I've had an opportunity to serve as chairwoman, and I'd like to personally take an opportunity to thank everyone who has been a part of making this event so meaningful. To Colonel Goebel and to Lonnie for your continued fulfillment, to the veterans of Rensselaer County, and for what you do every day for our veterans. To my fellow elected colleagues, I'd like to thank County Executive McLaughlin, to Congressman Mike McNulty for always being here and for starting this great program. Having folks here like Assemblyman Jake Ashby brings the realities of what these veterans have done to us in a more personal way. Your stories are always helpful to us, Jake, and to help us associate with some of the services that you've provided and what the veterans that we're honoring have gone through, so thank you. I would also like to thank the members of our Veterans Committee, all of you who are here today, to the members of our Honor Guard who are always here posting the colors and helping us honor our flag, to Jean, who's usually here to take photos for us, to Colonel Walsh, and to especially our legislative staff, Harry Tatunjan and Shelby Fenton, who always help to put this together. Today we celebrate the life and service of Thomas P. DiGiorgio, who was born on June 8, 1931 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Thomas was raised by his parents who were Italian immigrants. He learned to be a cabinet maker at a young age and graduated from Thomas Edison High School in 1950. His parents instilled in him the values of hard work, fairness to all, and a love of good home cooking and some homemade vino. On May 29, 1951, Thomas enlisted in the United States Navy in New York City. Seaman DiGiorgio was assigned to the USS Willard Keith, DD 775, where he would use his cabinetry skills to work as a metalsmith. On September 3, 1951, the USS Willard Keith departed the East Coast bound for the Mediterranean and duty with the Sixth Fleet. Thomas's service would take him to many interesting European cities, and he would spend the next 6 months in the Mediterranean making operational visits to such ports as Gibraltar, Naples, Sicily, and Istanbul. During this time in January, 70 years ago, Thomas experienced some real high seas adventures while in the northern European waters, when his ship joined the efforts to save the crippled SS Flying Enterprise before it broke apart and sank into heavy seas. This 2-week incident gained international attention, and the truth behind the ship's cargo and possible sinking remains a mystery to this day. Thomas would travel around the world on the USS Willard Keith. In March 1954, the Willard Keith and her squadron mates returned to the United States via Midway, Hawaii, the Panama Canal, Cuba, and Florida, returning to Norfolk on May 1st, 1954, and thus completing the ship's navigation of the globe. After spending Christmas in her home port, the Willard Keith departed in January 1955 for the Mediterranean. This would be Petty Officer Second Class DiGiorgio's final embarkment, paying goodwill calls at the ports of Algiers, Naples, Genoa, and the Azores before returning to Norfolk in May of March. On April 22, 1955, Petty Officer Second Class Thomas DiGiorgio was honorably discharged from the United States Navy at Battleship Squadron, Naval Station, Norfolk, Virginia. For his service to his country, M.E.2 DiGiorgio excuse me, was awarded the National Defense Service Medal, the Navy Occupation Service Medal with Europe clasp, the Korean Service Medal, and the United States Service Medal. In 2005, along with his daughter and family, they headed back to Europe to make a trip to his ancestral village of Paverno, Italy, to visit his extended family. In 2015, Thomas relocated from the Poconos to Castleton, New York, to reside with his daughter Diane and his family. In 2017, Thomas and Diane had the honor of participating in the Capital District Patriot flight to Washington, D.C., where they would see the Korean War Monument and other landmarks. I'm sure these memories of you and your dad may this trip live with you forever. Sadly, 1 year ago today, Thomas passed away. In addition to his children, Thomas was survived by his grandchildren, Caitlin, Thomas, Kristen, Bradley, and Ryan, his brother Carlo, his daughters-in-law Cheryl and Kathy, and his sons-in-law Dave and Brad. Thomas was predeceased by his parents, his sister Anna, and his partner for many years, Ann. Thomas is buried at Calverton National Cemetery in Long Island. While Thomas was not raised in our area, he called Rensselaer County home as he came here to spend his final years near his daughter Diane. What better gift than to be able to spend those years together? On behalf of my colleagues of the legislature, I'd like to thank Diane for taking great care of her dad and for bringing him to Rensselaer County so that we could learn his story and honor him today. Today will certainly not be an easy day for you, Diane, and for your family. These ceremonies can be emotional and moving, but they are necessary. I believe your dad does not want you to be sad today, but to remember him with fondness as a man dedicated to his country and to you, his family. How ironic it is that today, on the anniversary of his death, we celebrate this wonderful man, his wonderful life to service, to family, and to country. Thank you for allowing us to recognize him today. Now, is Colonel Walsh here? Tom, would you like to come down and say a couple of words? That's all right. That's okay.
That's what happens, you don't move your car when it was a nice storm. The Navy guy, and like I say, when I come up here, I always like to bust on the Navy guys. We had a couple of legislators that were in the Navy, and we were always at it. The one thing we have in common there with Thomas and a Diane, I got a Diane in the back too. I've been married to her for 65 years, so we've been together a long time. But Thomas did a great job in the Navy there. He certainly got to see the world in the Navy. You don't get to see it that much with the Army unless you wind up over in Afghanistan or Iraq. But out in the hallway when you're coming in there, there's a wall there that's got all the plaques on it, and Thomas's name will be on one of them plaques next year. So you'll probably be invited back here again to see that. So thank you very much.
Would any of the other legislators like to say anything? On behalf of the legislature, Diane, we have a certificate honoring your dad, and we'd like to present that to you today.
I will now ask our Rensselaer County Executive, Steve McLaughlin, to come forward.
Thank you, Peter. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first Honor a Vet ceremony of the new year. So Happy New Year to everyone. It's great to be here with all my colleagues in federal and local and state government. Congressman McNulty, who was instrumental in getting these services going years ago, which have now been duplicated many other places. But Diane, thank you for letting us honor Tom today. It's anniversary of his passing, which is, you know, obviously a sad, melancholy day, but it looks like he had quite an adventure. And for a guy with the last name DiGiorgio, stopping in Sicily and Naples and Genoa is probably not the worst place to be. It looks like he had he got to see the family, and I'm sure he ate some good food, better than the Navy ship. You know, it's a typical story that we see, right? Guys that go off and serve their country, and then he was trained as a cabinet maker before he left, and then came back and just picked up where he left off, and did some great work throughout the area, throughout the state. Looks like he had a great life, you know, living, you know, construction manager, and that kind of talent to be a cabinet maker is unique talent that anybody that's artistry, really, to be able to do something like that. So, and just raised a great family, and looks like he had a wonderful life. So we're certainly honored. Kelly, congratulations. First female chairwoman of the legislature. Congratulations on making history. And Kelly did a great job summarizing his life for us. And I'm sure that wasn't all of it, but it was a good overview of what he was able to do. And thank you, as Kelly said, for taking good care of him in his final days. I'm sure that was a gift, as was mentioned. To be able to spend time like that together is special. So we thank you for letting us honor him here today. Thank you.
I will now ask Colleen Williams, representing Congressman Paul Tonko, and Max Prime, representing Congressman Antonio Delgado, to come forward.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to join with you here this morning on behalf of Congressman Tonko. Especially a pleasure to join with all of our colleagues in state and local government. Congressman McNulty, thank you so much for planting the seeds for a tradition that I know Congressman Tonko and Congressman Delgado really appreciate carrying on over the course of our time here. Certainly always an honor to join with our veterans, and most importantly, Diane, it is wonderful to join with you this morning as we celebrate your dad. As a native Long Islander myself, I also consider myself an upstate New Yorker, and you know, I think everyone who comes here, however they come here, learns that upstate New York really does feel like home as soon as you get here. I will say that in learning about Tom's life, and I won't repeat all of the wonderful things that have already been said, it's very evident that he loved his family, he loved his country, and he was just committed to those two things. And with that, Congressman Tonko regrets, as does Congressman Delgado, they regret that they could not be here this morning as they're both headed to Washington, D.C. on legislative business. But we do have here a flag that was flown over the United States Capitol in your father's honor. And what better day to present this to you than on a day that I'm sure is very difficult and you know, just an emotional day for you, but we are so honored and so proud to honor his service and his commitment to this nation and to the community that he lives, the many communities that he's lived in throughout his life, with this flag that speaks to the freedoms that we enjoy here as a nation, as a community. And with that, I will just say thank you so much for this opportunity, and it would be my honor to present the flag to you.
I will now ask Haley Northup, representing New York State Senator Daphne Jordan, to come forward.
Good morning. My name is Haley. I'm representing Senator Jordan. She regrets she couldn't be here today, but she extends her warmest regards to her family, to your family. I'm here to present the Liberty Medal, and the Liberty Medal is the state's highest honor, and it is presented to citizens who have merited special commendation for their actions on behalf of their fellow New Yorkers and their community. And Thomas DeGiorgio did just that. We thank him for his service and for all that he contributed to the community during his life here. And with that, I would like to present the Liberty Medal and the New York State Proclamation from Senator Jordan. Thank you.
I will now ask New York State Assemblyman Jake Ashby to come forward.
Thank you, Peter. It's a privilege to be here this morning. Always great to see Congressman McNulty, who was instrumental in starting this tradition. And I think it's an important thing for Rensselaer County and all the counties in the Capital District to follow through with this. It's important to us. We had a 2-hour delay this morning, so my kids are here joining us, and so they get to take part in this tradition and be a part of it. And what a remarkable life! What a guy to have on a ship. That's what I was thinking about, reading about the type of man that he was, and all the places that they went, and being on board for such a long period of time, and the difficult missions that they were on, the different missions that they were on. That's the kind of guy you want on there. And he sounded like he would be a lot of fun, and then also be able to help out with any type of problem that you may have in those close quarters that are on there. I could never do that. I think someone my size too, they probably wouldn't let me on there anyway. But what incredible service and dedication that he displayed, during that time, and the different missions that they were on, what that required, and then coming home and giving back to his community and living in the town that he ended up, coming to. Diana, it's just, we're grateful to have him in our state, in our county, and in our town as well. And thank you so much for letting us honor him today. And on behalf of myself, New York State Assembly, and my colleague John McDonald, we're honored to be a part of it. Thank you.
Tim Forbes from the Rensselaer County Honor Deceased Veteran Committee will present the committee plaque at this time. Will the committee members please stand? Please rise for taps. We will now have our closing prayer.
Day is done, gone the sun, from the lake, the hill, and the sky. All is well. God of compassion, dignity, and strength, watch over this veteran and his family. Bless him and grant his family comfort and everlasting peace. Amen.
Retire the colors.
Retreat post. Right face.
Please join us for our next Honor of Veterans ceremony scheduled for Monday, February 14th, in honor of Richard P. Jansen. Before we go our separate ways, we will take a few family photos. The flag will be raised at a different time in Thomas's memory and will be presented later. This concludes our Honor of Veterans ceremony for this month. Thank you for coming to honor our deceased veteran for the month of January, Thomas P. DeGiorgio.